Hey, and welcome to the 91 Day Business Spotlight Live. I'm your host, Jonathan Mast, and I am thrilled today to have someone with me from, well, almost the other side of the world. As I'm sitting here in Alabama in the United States, Paul's from Australia. And Paul, great opportunity. Thank you for making the time to chat with us. I'm excited to learn a little bit more about your business. I know you and I literally just met just a couple minutes ago when we both logged on. But Paul, if you would, this whole process is about sharing about who you serve and what you do to make their lives better. Tell us a little bit about your business, who it is that you serve, and how you go about making their lives better, Paul.
Well, our business is called Digital Junction. We're based in Sydney, Australia. The clients that we work with are generally local business, like tradies, electricians, plumbers, mechanics, and service-based businesses. We help them with their technology, from their Google Workspace to websites to improving their processes using technology like various CRMs. We'll look at the operational aspects on how they run their business and how we can incorporate technology in that, with the full view of ensuring that we create the most seamless customer experience, ensuring that technology works for them in the way that they engage with their clients, to ensure that they have the best provide the best customer experience both on the website and through the way that they run their operations, delivering their services.
I love it. So it's more than just technology and more than just marketing. It really sounds like, Paul, you work with your clients to help determine, based upon the people that they serve and what they want to do, how they can best leverage technology to meet those needs and to obviously prove their value that they're bringing to others. Am I understanding that correctly?
That's absolutely right. And we do partner with marketing companies, especially those in that social media space and
Hmm.
Google Ads. So we really focus ensuring that your ad spend is not hampered. It's actually enhanced by the systems and the processes that we have in place.
I love it. I love it. Tell me a little bit about the area you work in. I know you're based in Sydney. Do you work with businesses outside of that area as well, or what type of trades do you generally work with, Paul?
Look, we do operate nationally. I mean, obviously, with the internet, you can and technology like this today, you can communicate with anyone anywhere around the world. But I think Australia is probably where we would geographically work with. For example, a recent business that we worked with is an auto mechanic. They have a number of locations. They have their existing web developer. We incorporated a review management platform for them to increase customer feedback, which identified some areas of opportunity within the business to improve, but also allowed their customers to ensure that they were getting the Google reviews, which is the lifeblood of local based businesses. Because when someone is looking for a service provider, they are checking reviews, and we just make it
Absolutely.
easier for that business to achieve that.
No, absolutely. And there is no doubt when it comes to local, reviews are critical, even on a national level, but especially for local. If I'm looking for a auto mechanic, I
Mm.
want to work with somebody that's trusted. And those reviews, apart from what that mechanic tells me or anybody in the trades, are really going to tell me far more than any what I want to believe, at least from the tradesmen themselves. So that makes a tremendous amount of sense.
Yeah,
Talk to me a little bit about some of the other projects that you've worked with some of your
yeah,
clients, Paul, and some other
yeah,
examples. You mentioned reviews and ads. Are there other areas you work in? For example, do you
yeah.
do work and things like that?
Sorry, I missed that. You just cut out for.
Do you do website work and things like that
Yes,
as
we
well? Or
do. Yeah, so we focus predominantly on probably two areas of focus is WordPress-based websites, which are great for local businesses who want a great mobile responsive site that they can manage themselves. We provide website maintenance, so to ensure that the website is up to date in terms of the plugins, licenses, and the software updates are there, and we check for vulnerabilities, whether there's any potential risk of a malware injecting if software is, even if it's up to date, but sometimes software developers of these plugins They leave some security holes, which our software
They
systems
do.
identify them, and we then discuss with the client what the next course of action is. We either talk to the developers to ensure that they fix those security issues, or if we have to, then we need to look at an alternative solution. So we take a proactive approach
Hmm.
from that perspective. We also do work with a lot of retailers and with their e-commerce and point of sale. So integrating both of those different channels of sales with their target markets, and ensuring that that we are a big commerce partner
Okay, good.
for that. So one of the specialists in Australia, and we have some large clients in Australia, manufacturing and wholesale businesses in that space. So yeah, it's great fun. It's great to see efficiencies in the business, and then you know pushing more
Sure.
orders, and you know, and
Talk to me a little bit as you work with the trades in particular. We'll talk about e-commerce in a moment, Paul, but as you work with the trades, what are some of the things you're recommending they be doing for their online related to their website, their advertising, their reviews in 2024? What are some things that, if we've got a trades listening here and they're like, okay, what do I need to be doing? What are the top 2 or 3 things that you recommend they be taking a look at this year, Paul?
okay. So from that perspective, local SEO is one implementation. We look at. I think we need to start with a strategy ultimately, because local SEO is one implementation of that marketing activity, but that will flow from the strategy. Paid advertising is critical. Uh, I think the use of things like TikTok and YouTube Shorts and Instagram to demonstrate how they do their work,
Hmm.
I think is really important. There are, in particular in the plumbing space, the ones that are doing really well are showcasing their work in progress, and actually how clean and elegant their solutions are. So people get a feel for how they operate. Um, Video is king, I think, in this sense, because you're bringing someone into your home to actually to do a job, and you just want to get a sense as to, is this the sort of person that I want in my home? And
Absolutely.
so I think video is really important. I mean, there are some really powerful um, businesses in these trade spaces. There's a client of mine called GDL Auto, based in Sydney, and he is prolific on YouTube and Instagram. And he's got a flood, and actually having also in particular having a unique point of difference. This particular mechanic, he has a pickup service, so you don't even need to know where their workshops are.
I love
And
it.
that's a great, and he's a Jeep specialist, because apparently Jeeps, according to him, not the most reliable vehicles. But he creates these videos on YouTube, and then you can either use that information to do the work yourself, or you realize this is too hard. I'll get some professional to do it.
Well, and I love that
So,
because I think that applies so many places, Paul, regardless of what industry you're in. If you can
mm,
demonstrate and share your expertise, you're creating tremendous credibility for what you do. And let's face it, most of us, myself included, I don't want to work on my car. I know I can change the oil. It's not that I'm not capable of it. I just have no desire to do so. And I'd rather pay for the convenience of having somebody else do it while I get to focus on things I do enjoy doing. And I think that applies to all kinds of things, especially in the trades. So.
and
You mentioned,
you have a confidence in the person doing the work.
yes. No, it creates
And
video
social
creates so
media,
much more credibility.
and social media is so powerful. And
Absolutely.
you need to be proactive to make it work for you, rather than starting from behind the 8 ball, then trying to, you know, recover from a situation, and that requires far more effort. For example,
No
one
doubt.
poor review, you need 10 reviews to counter that one poor review.
Yeah.
That's a lot of
Yeah.
work. It's a lot of work.
It is. It is. Well, especially that one review may or may not be warranted. So it's a ton of work. Well, we've got just a couple minutes left, Paul. Talk to us a little
Sure.
bit about e-commerce. You mentioned you're a big commerce partner with WordPress. I know not a lot, but a little. Then I know that Big Commerce has some integrations with WordPress. Is that part of the reason you work with them, or you just find them to be a good partner in general when it comes to e-commerce?
Um, so it really depends on the business. So if e-commerce is a small part of your business, then having e-commerce on WordPress using WooCommerce or some other options, then that will be, I think, sufficient. But if you are a heavy e-commerce business, my experience in the last 15 years would suggest that having a more of a dedicated platform like
Mm.
BigCommerce, where blogging and content pages are a secondary, than a
Hmm.
platform like BigCommerce or potentially even Shopify. But then it comes down to numbers. How busy the website you foresee. Shopify tends to encourage you to use their payment platforms and their shipping platforms. Otherwise, there's a slight surcharge in the transaction.
Yes.
So it then becomes a bit of an accounting thing. In terms of functionality, I just think that BigCommerce, and we chose that way, is that it's more scalable.
Excellent.
It lends itself to, it has what we call a headless option, which allows you to have a content management system sitting on
Oh,
top
very
of your
nice.
e-commerce. So there's
Very
that.
nice.
There's the beauty of that. It has so yeah. So our technical team has got quite a bit of experience in the headless version of BigCommerce, and we certainly encourage that with businesses that have the budget. It is
Sure.
and budget does have a big
Of
impact
course.
on the technology that we have. But if we have a plan
Oh,
going forward, then maybe there could be a technology change down the track as the business scales up.
excellent. Well, Paul, if we have anybody listening, then they'd like to learn more about what you do, either in Sydney or anywhere else. Can you tell me a little bit what's the best way for them to reach out and get in touch with you?
Yeah, you can email us at info@digitaljunction.com.au. Go to our website, obviously www.digitaljunction.com.au. And we have a
Awesome.
1300 number, which is 1300 550 902.
Fantastic. Well, we'll put that down in the show notes as well and give people a chance to reach out to you, whether they're watching live or on the replay. Paul, I want to thank you again. I know it's early Tuesday morning for you, so thank you for getting up on the other side of the day, quite literally from where I'm at, still on Monday
Yes.
afternoon in the States. So we do appreciate that. And if you're watching today and you'd like to promote your business here on our 91 Day Spotlight Live, we would welcome that. Just comment down below on Paul's video or any of the others that we post. We try to do 2 to 3 of these almost every day, and we're doing them for about another 6 weeks. So if you're interested, contact us. We'd love to get you live. Paul, thank you very much. And thank you, everyone, for joining us today. Everybody, make it a great